Once again, we are live. I want to thank everybody for their continued support. As you enter the building, as you enter this live, go ahead, hit up the chat. Let me know you in the building. As you enter this live, let me know you in the building. Hit up the chat. Listen, I have a special guest. I love y'all so much. I got a special guest. As y'all enter the building, go ahead, hit up the chat. Say what's up.
What's up?
We got something. We got something powerful for y'all today, man. Powerful story. A powerful story. As you enter this building, go and say what's up on the chat. Like I said, I thank y'all. Not fear, appreciate you, bro. As you enter the building, go ahead. Because I want y'all to hear the stuff that's coming out my brother's mouth, man. Y'all got to hear this, man. It's going to be some life-changing, life-saving information being dispensed here today.
That's awesome.
We talk about champions of change, champions of progress, champions of success. Well, this is the epitome of that. And this ain't nothing I heard. This is something I know for a fact. With no further ado, we're going to welcome. We're going to put the claps together for my brother, Topshelf D. Reed.
What's up? What's going on, my bro? What's going on? Let's go.
Too much.
We on. We live. I like it live. I like going live. You know what I mean? I love going live. Yeah. You know, because you know, when you go live, you know what I mean, it's no holds bar. You know what I mean? You gonna say it'll be what it is, you know?
It is what it is.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Let me first say this, man, before we go on. I want to just say thank you, man, because you know, when you reach out to people and you asking something for nothing, you know what I'm saying? People will look at you sideways. Let me repeat that. When you reach out to somebody and you asking something for nothing, meaning you ain't got a check to cut them or nothing like that, you get looked at sideways. A lot of times you don't get a response. But guess what? My brother right here responded in less than 15 minutes. Almost brought tears to my eyes. So what I want to do, man, I would like for you to tell us, man, let the audience know who is Topshelf.
Right. That's what's up, man.
We're gonna go that way and we're gonna work it around and bring it 360. But right now, let us know who Topshelf D. Reed is.
Well, you know, it started off as D. Reed, with the entrepreneur author from the Riverside Projects. I got into development after that. I started out cutting hair, as you know. I was a barber for years, you know what I mean? And I laid my clippers down and I said, you know what? I done it enough. You know, I love cutting hair. I love the culture. I built something in my community that people love, you know what I mean? And I just said, you know, it's time to walk away from barbering and get into other things. Not like spread my wings out a little bit. So I got into construction. I own a transportation company. So I think entrepreneur has always been in my spirit, you know what I mean, doing entrepreneur things, you know what I mean? I got cutting the hair because number one, I love it, but I also didn't want to have a boss. You know, I wanted to come in my own time, leave my own time. So, you know, it's like D. Reed, and I became the top barber D. Reed. And I ran into a friend of mine who I grew up with, kind of like a mentor too. He said, we're gonna start calling you Top Shelf. He said, why? He said, because I see you doing a lot of top shelf things, but also you got to be top shelf where people got to reach for you. You know what I mean? You can't just, you know, come to you and with the with the BS or anything. You got to come with top shelf conversation, top shelf business, top shelf idea. And I just kind of grasped that name, and it took me a minute, but I said, yeah, we're gonna call it Top Shelf. So everything, you know, I try to do is try to be top shelf. I mean, coming on here to show is because I consider you top shelf. You know what I mean? I said, nah, I'm coming to see my boy Mark, he's top shelf. You know, so everything I try to do is top shelf. So again, I started at Riverside Projects. My journey is from projects to progress, is what I like to say. And growing up in the Riverside Projects, we didn't have.
Hold on. I struck a chord. Listen, we're gonna get into that, you know, the humble beginnings and all that, but I want you to continue on with some of your businesses and what has, you know, inspired you to take that risk and even know that you can, or think that you can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this to y'all, and I want y'all listening. Because if anything that you got to take out this interview, I want you to take this phrase right here. This phrase now, 90. Let me put it this way: the phrase is this. Most people say when things get right, I'm gonna make a move. But the reality in life is things get right, when you make a move. Please do not take that phrase lightly. 98.99% of people in the world think soon as this get right, and you guys are watching me right now are thinking the same thing. I'm gonna make this move as soon as I get this, or as soon as I get right, or as soon as this. It doesn't work like that. This is what you've been taught. This is what you've been used to in life, that when things get right, I'm gonna make a move. Well, if things got right, you would never move. Let's put that number one right there. Number two, most people say that all the time, but it never works that way. Things get right when you make a move. And I started realizing that. And it's just so many reasons why that it works that way, because also you're moving in also in faith. You know what I mean? And in faith, you got to have faith too. But you also got to put the work in. These type of things people don't understand. Think stuff is just going to come to them again, or things is going to be right for me to now I can move. Now it don't work that way. Things get right when you make a move. You got to make the move first, and then God, the universe, coming into an agreement and conspire to bring your thing into fruition. You know what I mean? And that's how I see it. So I got into Barber. I was doing Barber, and I said, you know what? And how I got into construction, because I didn't realize, Mark, that I was kind of like a middleman when it came down to delegating and brokering deals. So I'm behind the barber's chair, and someone said, "Derek, I need an electrician for this. I need a plumber for this. But I was cutting everybody in the city hair. So I knew the plumber, I knew the electrician, I knew the carpet guy, I knew the floor guy, I knew the roof guy, because I was cutting their hair. But you know what? I wasn't getting no money from it. You know what I mean? And there are people that are making the thousands and millions of dollars just brokering deals, just saying, you know what? We're gonna get you to do this, we're gonna get you to do that, and all that, and then you get paid. I mean, you got Craigslist or Angie's List. People go on there to look for a plumber, and they get a percentage from finding you a plumber. Meanwhile, I'm behind the chair doing this, I ain't getting paid for it. So I said, I gotta learn more about this construction game. You know what I mean? So I started learning about the construction game. Now, before I got my own team, I was subcontracting other people. So I mean, I might do a job and say, hey, I got a plumber, but I might get 10%, maybe get 20%, maybe get 30% off that deal. But I'm getting something off that deal now. And that's how I got into construction. And when you carry a quality, a name, a top shelf name in what you do, and we're gonna get more into this too, people start looking at you as in how you do anything is how you do everything. So I was always quality when it came down to cutting hair. I was always on time. I always had integrity. I always had a top-notch haircut and all that. So when I got into other business, it just carried over where, oh, we already know he's a quality guy. We already know he's going to be on time. Because he done that in the barbershop, so I know he's going to do that in construction. He done it in the construction. I know he's going to do that in transportation. He knew he do that, so I know he's going to do that in janitorial. He has a gym. So, these are all the business that I own now. You know what I mean? So that quality follows, you know what I mean? But it all stems from me making a move and not waiting for things to get right.
Good thing. I want to go back because from what I heard, you said don't wait, make the move. Like a lot of us, we want to make sure the paper right, meaning the money right, make sure
Right.
the credit score is right, make
Yeah.
sure everything is right before we make the move. Why? Because we're afraid to fail. So go ahead, kind of talk about that for a minute.
I think you're right. So let's talk about what you just said. You said 90. I said 98% of people think that when things get right, I'm going to make a move. But the reality is, again, things get right when you make a move. So the fear comes in. I can't do that. I can't. But that's the thing about it is, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And I got a mentor that's worth about 40, $50 million. And he was like, yo, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And I always had that in the back of my mind. And sometimes you got to, matter of fact, most times you got to take a risk. Will Smith, and Will Smith got in trouble doing all the stuff he's doing, but he's back on the scene doing his music and all that. But he said something real profound. He said, God placed the best things of life on the other side of fear. So when you start thinking of all the best things that you want in life, you got to say that you're going to have to go through that door of fear to get there. There's no other way around it. I'm going to be honest. You're going to have to go through that fear, or you're going to stay where you at and do the same that you've been doing. But if you want more, and you want to grow more, and you want to be on the top shelf level, you want things to be drawn your way, you got to be on that vibe, on that frequency of I'm going to get it, so you can draw the right things from you. But the only way you can do that, you're going to have to get through fear. Things get right when you make a move, not the other way around. We're going to keep coming back to this. It's some more stuff I want to share with you guys. But we
What I
definitely
want to
coming
do
back to
right
that.
now, what I want to do right now on Top Shelf, I want to shout out the people that's in the building.
Yeah.
I want to say, man, go hit that share button, share this video, man, so others can get this food. EC, I see you. TT, The ones that's in the building, we will have a time at the end where y'all will be able to ask questions. So be patient with us. EC said, yo, I need this. Okay.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome, awesome. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep rocking out. So,
yeah.
so Mark, I was scared to leave behind the chair, but
Okay.
but I knew that was something that I had to do. It's just that I was used to doing the same thing that I've been doing for 30 years, cutting hair, and it was giving me a good income. Not no great income, but just good from what I know now. Just something good that could take care of it. I'm talking about, I ain't scared to stay. I probably was making 100,000 to 150,000 a year cutting hair, and owning a barber shop. So I was doing 100 to 150,000 a year. But I wanted more, you know what I mean? And not just more money. It wasn't just I was motivated by money. I was motivated to live my life. I was motivated to have freedom, to come and go as I please, to do what I want to do, rather than travel or spend time with my kids. Like this whole system of the world, not getting too deep, of us getting up on a Monday morning and then working until Friday, and then you squeezing in Friday afternoon with your kids, and then Saturday with your family, and then Sunday you preparing to come back to this mess. You know what I mean? Where you're spending more time on the job than you are with your home family, which is the most important thing in your life. So this system has got us doing things backwards. The things that's most important to us in life, we're not spending time with that. And we instead, because most of us have to, you have to go to job, you have to get work because jobs might not be paying enough. Bills are high now, all that stuff. So me, I never wanted to be in that cycle, in that system, in that matrix. You know what I mean? Where I want to enjoy my life and I want to enjoy my life with my kids. So stepping out in the barber game from the barber into construction was scary. But you know what happened when I stepped out? I thought I was going to get into residential, doing residential repairs, renovations. Man, my first contract was a commercial contract. Scared me to death. It was a
Mm.
school. It was a school. And they need to get right before the school started. It was in the summer, before school started, we need to get these windows done. And we had to get these windows done in the school. We went to a company and they wanted to charge us $3 million to get it done. So me, I'm new in the game. Someone gave him my name. He's quality. He's doing construction. I wasn't even doing commercial then.
Right.
And they end up calling me and say, "Hey, can you come look at it?" Now I know that I don't know nothing about replacing windows, but maybe they don't need to replace the windows, right? So they called me, and I easily got a window company to come in. I could have subbed it and say, "Hey, they're gonna charge $3 million to get this window done. Like, can y'all do it for 2.5? 2.5, and I tell them 2.7. I walk away with 200,000. You know what I mean? If I really could, I could do it like that. But instead, I went there and see that all the windows can be refurbished. I called another guy that knew something about the windows. We partner up. I got my first commercial contract was $250,000.
Mm.
First commercial contract for $250,000 coming from the barbershop right to a commercial, and it allowed me to realize the difference between commercial and residential money. You know what I mean? So, and then I got into commercial, doing commercial projects. So now today I do mostly commercial. I do some renovation as far as residential, but I do mostly commercial. But I was scared to death at the point I'm trying to make. I was scared to death, but I had to do it scared because even it didn't feel right at times because I was in barbering coming into a big old construction job. It didn't feel right. But sometimes you can't follow the feeling. You got to do what you know is right, even when it don't feel right. And I knew it was right. I knew I had to be a part of this project. I knew it. So I went past the fear, and now I'm doing commercial projects pretty much everywhere.
Okay. Congratulations. Claps up for that.
Yeah,
I want to ask you too, though. I know you got multiple businesses. You
right.
co-own a business, but I
Yeah.
want to ask you about the book. You are the author of the book Mindset Go.
Yep.
Listen, explain the title. Explain the title and the concept of the book.
Very good. I'm glad you said that. That's a great question. Number one, mindset go. I think everything starts with the mind. And I'm gonna be honest, the main thing about one of the other things to take away from this interview is that your mind is everything. And you know how you be a part of a race and you say ready, set, go. All right, ready, set, go. I just took out ready and put mind, set, go, which is on Amazon. We'll get into that too. In life, all of us are important, but I don't think no one is special. And what I mean by that is we all important in that we have a job and we have a purpose here. However, the special part is that not really special because anything can happen to anybody at any time, great or bad. You know what I mean? So it's not so special that life is just picked. No, anything can happen to anybody at any time. You know what I mean? But we all are important in our role of being productive in this world and being productive in this world. So I want to write a book that's going to help squeeze you into knowing who you are And what do you think? And how do you feel about things? Because we've been taught so much. We've been indoctrinated with so many things, and a lot of stuff that we've been believing and taught, as we got older, it's just simply not true. You know what I mean? For instance, how we start off with, here it goes again. Most people, you think that when things get right, I'm gonna make a move. It doesn't work like that. But we've been taught that. Somebody doctrinated and say, nah, when things get right, or we heard it. So in this book, I really get to open up your mind. I kind of corner you. If you squeeze an orange right, orange juice comes out because that's what's in it. So what I want to do is create a book that's going to squeeze you, that whatever in you is going to come out of you. Now, the great stuff that come out of you, you capitalize on. The bad stuff that come out of you sometimes when you're being squeezed, because that can happen too, whether it's the bad attitude, wrong decision, all that, you correct. But you're going to be squeezed. And in the end of the day, you're going to find out who you are and what your purpose is. You know what I mean? You're not going to just believe something, which is to accept something that's being true. You're going to start knowing things where you know it's true, but it's backed by knowledge and backed by facts.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
I want to say something. I see my man EC trying to ask a question. We're gonna get into that later.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and break and let you ask this question. So my man EC said I created an LLC 3 years ago where I would put my Uber Lyft money. I paid taxes under his 1099.
Mhm.
He went to buy a property on his LLC, also build credit to manage and repair these properties. How? So I guess he asking you, Top Shelf, for some
Mhm.
advice. He didn't put together a little bit of money. Now he want to purchase, his first property. What
Yeah.
advice you got for him?
Now, don't get me wrong. You can actually, and this sometimes it be a little jumping through hoops. Sometime purchasing the property with your investment company or some type of LLC. It's always going to put you to some type of hoops, man, or charge you just a little bit more as far as interest rates and stuff like that. As far as you can do it, you know what I mean. You can put the business under your LLC name. You know what I mean. So if he asks me a question of, can he do that? You can also, yes, you can do that. You can do that bill credit, but it'll bill credit for your LLC though.
Right.
Not for you personally. You know what I mean? Because of course the LLC is separated from who you are. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
you can do that, but keep in mind you're not building credit. You're actually your company building credit. Now you can build credit a little bit to a certain extent because they might put you on as a grantor, meaning that your company own it, but they got to have you co-sign it as a grantor. It's called a grantor. They can do that too as well. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get back with our viewers, man. At the end, but I want to get a few more questions to get that out the way, and then we can
Yeah.
just flow from there. And at the end,
Yeah.
we're going to our Q&A.
Awesome.
Um, so and you get two questions, right?
Sure.
Two-part question. You just did a play,
Yeah.
right? Well, first, don't go into it, but was that your first play? That's my question.
No. No, actually my
Okay.
third.
Okay, but we're gonna talk about this last one because I kind
Okay.
of saw on that. Start with the question about the trip to Africa, and then
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the stage play.
Awesome. That's a good question. So being an entrepreneur and being in this business world, of course, you get invited to, not even if you don't get invited, show up at these networking events. Be around people and the things that you want to be a part of. That's number one. Don't wait for things to get right. Find out, look online, find out when the networking meeting's going to be at, whether you want to be in a political game, the business game, all business, you know what I mean? Or whatever game you decide to be in, show up, show your face, get acquainted, know people. You never know who was there. People say, it's kind of like it's who you know. That sounds great because we've been taught that. But guess what? It's who know you. How about that one? You know what I mean? It's not about just who you know. It's about who knows you. So you want to get to that point of going to different places. So I just happened to be invited to this one. And I pulled up, and it was actually the current governor of my state, Delaware, now was actually there, who was instrumental in me being able to go to Africa. So we had a networking event, it was a fundraiser. So I said, and don't be afraid to go to fundraising. If you ain't got no money, just donate what you can. You know what I mean? Give them a check for $25 and say, get yourself in there as long as it ain't no cover charge that, feels too high. So I go to this networking event. And I see people getting out the car, African people, and I'm talking about almost like some coming to America stuff. And without the roses and stuff like that. I'm talking about
Right.
queens and
Right.
I'm like, what in the world? Where am I at? You know what I mean? So man, so I goes in there. I knew the person that was having the networking event. That's why I went. And I got in there and I met the mayor, Basuda. His name is Talib Basuda, is the mayor of Gambia. So I met him at the networking event. And I asked him, I said, so we got talking. And then again, the county executive was there, who is now our governor, and said, yeah, you should talk to him. But we'll talk about, his countries from Africa. And you had a bunch of African people there. And I asked him about his country, you know what I mean? And what he's doing here. He was there with the political stuff, you know what I mean? Coming to check out different ideas to take back to his country. And so I started talking to him. I said, I would love to come to your country. He's like, oh yeah. And we're gonna ask Mark, is it safe? I've never been to Africa, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now I've been there several times. So he said, you're safer in my country than you are in your country. So I was like, and I was like, why did you say why? He said, because we don't have the guns and the drugs and all that stuff. We don't have that on so prevalent. They don't have gun stuff. He said, why would we have our government in the battle with the people with the same type of equipment? What I mean? So it doesn't make sense. So the law has the license and have the guns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? As far as that. Why do you believe all that stuff? I know over in America is a different ideology and mindset because we're gun crazy. Like if you go outside the country, you'll really realize how gun crazy America is. You know what I mean? It's not shot America, it's just what it is. So I said, you know what? I'm going to Africa. I came home, got my plans together. I told the future governor that I'm going over, and I went over to Gambia, and I met the most beautiful people I could ever meet in my life. And I not only that, I fell in love with the people. I ended up starting a foundation called the His Image Foundation over in Africa, where we help schools and kids with all types of stuff, from food to clothing to personal stuff for the females. Females don't even have personal things over there, where if they don't have them, they can't go to school. You know what I mean? Because of an embarrassment, you know what I mean? Of something that's so, we can go from every drugstore and get stuff personal for our young daughters and our young girls. Over there, they don't have that. So I created a foundation that we can stream money to them and then get things done, get stuff built, get books, get computers, and you can donate to us too. So I will talk about that too. But and I ended
Okay.
up going to and I went to go to Africa. So now I've been to Morocco, Senegal, Gambia, and last time I went over there, they had a daggone parade. Did you see that? When I got off the bus, they had the whole fanfare. It was crazy over there. But and that's how I ended up going to Africa. If you ever get a chance to, definitely go to Africa. Definitely go to Africa, man. It's a great experience. Awesome experience. But
Okay.
that's how I ended up going over there. And so I met
A
the mayor.
follow-up question before you go on.
No, you're good.
Did you go by yourself or did you take, because I've seen some pictures and some
Okay.
of them were familiar. So tell us about that.
So even inside of that networking event, again, don't be afraid to go to networking events to get to know people and find out, what's going on in things that you may be interested, or just go be nosy, you know what I mean? So you might get, a good connection. There was a lady named Maddie Sane there who has, she's from Gambia, but she lives here. And I met her at the networking event. And she said, hey, I do this little trip over Gambia every year. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do every year. I'm trying to get some people to go. And I know you, Top Shelf. I heard about you. I know what you do. I said, how many people you need? She said, I'll be happy to get 10 people going. The first time. First time, I think we took 13 people. And then the next time we took 20 something people. So now we're going with groups of 20 to 25 people over to Africa every year. And sometimes we skip a year, we'll go to the next following year. So we may even skip this year, but we'll be going the following year of 26.
Very good. Now you can
Yeah.
continue on with the stage play was the other part of the question. The
Oh,
stage play. Yeah.
So the stage play. As you can see my pattern, you guys, you'll see that, everything that I've done derived from me being a barber, like behind the barber chair. It derives from that. I always wanted to be a writer. So of course, writing books, writing plays, writing stories, writing movies, screenplays. I always wanted to be a part of that life. So I never wanted to let that go. No matter what I was doing as far as work wise, I always had that leisure time of, that's my time. That's the dessert of my life is writing. So I didn't want to neglect doing like the stage plays and stuff like that. So I started writing my first play. And I'm a comedy dude, Mark. I love, like, I'm
Okay.
a serious businessman, but I'm the type of guy. I would like to get on the stage, grab a mic. I would like to be the one that's writing a comedy play or story. So I ended up writing a comedy play called Watermelon Cornbread. And the first one's called Watermelon Cornbread, The Blessing and the Recession. And it's about a black-owned family, a black bakery, black-owned bakery that a family owned. And they had all types of stuff, but it was going through the recession. And but their grandpa would make this cake called watermelon cornbread, but he would never put it in the bakery because it was just for the family. But some kind of way it ended up in the bakery, and they kind of blew up, and then all types of stuff. People trying to get at them, but it's a very good story. And actually, we sold out here in Delaware like several times. Yeah, and we took that one on tour down south for a little bit. So behold, about 10 years later, the one play that you just seen recently was Watermelon Cornbread the Holiday. So we actually brought it back and did another segment of it.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
congratulations.
yeah.
Listen,
Thank you.
I want to move forward now because you well accomplished. When I look at you, I see the epitome of confidence. You know, every time I see you, whether it's online or whatever, you appear to be very confident in who you are. But I
Yes.
want to ask you to take us back to your childhood, where you grew
Awesome.
up, um, the family dynamics, how
Yes.
you saw yourself, and just tell us about that.
Mark, I'm glad you said that because, we growing up in Riverside Projects, man, and we had a lot of role models on what not to do. I tell people all the time they had no a lot of role models telling me what to do. I just seen a lot of things that people done that I just didn't want to do. I knew I didn't want to be, locked up. I knew I didn't want to be out here and on the corner getting caught up in the gang or whatever, those type of things. And I'm the youngest of 9 brothers and sisters, and I have a twin brother too, Frederick Reed. I always have an interview. I say I gotta have an interview. I gotta mention him because he's doing great too as an entrepreneur. But in my life, we grew up. My mom was single, and she was drinking at the time. She don't drink no more. Haven't drank in years. But during that time, it was just hard growing up in the projects, single family, single mom, and you just didn't have a thing. Like Christmas really missed us. That's how I felt. You know what I mean? And I always felt in my life that I wanted to win. Not only I want to win, I want my kids to win. I actually met my wife when I was in ninth grade, 10th grade, ninth grade, and we got 4 kids together and still married to this day at 27 years later.
Did you know at the time when you met your wife?
No, absolutely not. I was young. I did dab in the music business a little bit and stuff like that. And it just happened. I mean, we broke up a couple of times in our young years. Then we ended up getting together and get back together and ended up got married. Had 4 beautiful kids. Now they're grown. We're empty nesters in the big old house with kids not even here, and we got 3 grandboys. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like, but yeah, huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So growing up in the projects, man, you always got to fight through. And Mark, man, you got to fight through, man. It's like sometimes we can be harder on our people more than anybody in this world. You know what I mean? Because we're afraid to. When I was young, you was afraid to jump off the box and do something different. You had to do what everybody else is doing, and that's still remnant, still on us sometimes. Remember, everybody's wearing white t-shirts or everywhere got to wear Timbs, and everybody, where is this? Like, they don't understand how this carries. And not to get political, I don't even like the fact that all black people got to be Democrat. I didn't know. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, be whatever you want to be. But this is how our culture is. You know what I mean? Sadly to say, we all are scared to jump out the box and we think everybody need to be the same. No, we may not agree with you, but we got to respect that you're different. I just want to respect it. So I just had a lot of people on what not to do, but I wanted to win. Like, I knew it was possible. I wanted to win. And let me tell you something, it's not easy even now in owning businesses. You're gonna have your rough weeks and rough months sometimes, but you just keep on getting backing up, keep getting back up because this is what you believe in, this is what you want to do. I want to be free. That's my goal is freedom and a better quality of life. Period.
Very
Period.
good. So let me ask you. So growing up in a notorious housing project, right?
Yes.
Can you look back and see some of just your peers that may have fell by the wayside, that may not even be here today, or that got caught up in a bad situation?
Yeah, I had family members, cousins, and stuff like that, or even friends that I seen back in the day that didn't even make it to 25 years old. And I remember kids playing basketball on the basketball court or in the street playing football or playing tackle football with these guys. And these guys are no longer with us. And I'm gonna be honest, when you look at the old pictures and say, oh, he got killed then, he was 22 years old. Like, that's how we be looking at stuff like, wow. So I had a lot of friends that just didn't make it, and people I just seen around the way. Or some that got on drugs and didn't make it back. People don't understand that when you grow up in that system, that project system, that project mindset, you know what I mean? It hurts you in so many ways. I think now in life, we're finding out a lot about vibe and about frequency and about high level and high level thinking. And those type of energies and frequencies draw things to you. That's great. But if something that's keeping you down, to keep you on a low vibration, it's keeping you on a low frequency, it's hard to draw stuff to you that way. So people say, D, you always upbeat and all that, because I try to stay on the high frequency because I want to draw high frequency things to myself. Does it get hard sometimes? Yes. Do I go through some bad days like everybody else? Remember what I said. Everyone's important, no one's special. So I go through some of the same thing everybody else go through too as well.
Appreciate that. If you could talk to this Derek, because right now you top shelf, you D
Top
Reed,
shelf.
you on top, you got the big house, you living life,
I'm doing
even though you say
okay.
it's not perfect.
Right.
What words did you have to young Derek? And only reason I ask you that because as you speak to young Derek, you're gonna speak to some young people, or you may speak to some parents who got children that they can use that advice.
I would say take the chance. Go for it. I mean, go for it and give it your all. If there's something that you believe in, there's something that you want to do, whatever it's business, entertainment, music, art, fashion, things that we need, even politics, whatever you want to get involved in, I would say to the young Derek, start now, start early. Do not let your age stop you. Don't look at your age that I'm 15, I'm 16, I'm 17. No, you can be a millionaire by the time you turn 20. We are living in the world right now where you can be a millionaire 20, 23, 24 right now. Like soon, you know what I mean? But you got to start now. So if anything I can do is I would tell the young Dare start sooner. Now, don't get me wrong, I started soon as barber and cutting hair, but a lot of stuff that I'm involved now, I kind of wish I did start sooner. So you want to start sooner, take the risk, don't let fear stop you, and don't wait for things to get right. Keep going
Okay,
right now.
very good. That's good advice. Listen, you speak about you don't reference the barbershop. You do because evidently that's in your heart. Being a
Yes.
barber is in your. I might can get a haircut from you now. You still
Nah,
got your
probably not.
clippers. Probably not today, but you still got your clippers, right?
Yeah, they at the house. They be
Okay.
offering me $200, Mark, for haircuts. I
Woo!
turn it down. So far, I don't know how long I'm gonna turn it down, but I've been turning it
Say
down
that
too.
again. But I got a question. But say that part
Yeah.
again. What you just said.
I said they be offering me $250, probably the most, for a haircut right now.
Wow.
Right now, $200 a hit right
Wow.
now. And I'm
Wow.
like, yeah. If I go back to the barbershop, I would say I would honestly probably tell them, hey man, just pay me whatever you think I deserve, or just pay me what you can afford. If I went back to
And
the
what,
barbershop, I would say, hey, just pay me whatever you can afford. Because
okay.
I mean, I'm going back for the love. I wouldn't go back for the money. Yeah.
So I know like a lot of, especially in the hood, most barbershops are where deep conversations happen. I know you can't tell all of them, but your most memorable conversation that you got or you had at the barbershop.
The most memorable conversation that I had at the barbershop, I had, and it's crazy because maybe separate people, but I had people that just wanted to give up on life. Like that, you really had to talk to someone off jumping off a bridge or offing himself. That's one of the deeper things. One thing about being a barber, man, it's not you're not just a barber. And if you like me that really kind of have a heart for people, you know that you are the counselor. You know you are the big brother that no one had. You're the uncle or you're the father to some of these kids that these single moms bring in, or the uncle, you know what I mean? Big on, whatever. I talked to so many people that had to talk off the ledge, and I'm literally crying. They're crying about to say, I can't, man, things not going my way. Things are not going the way I planned. This is not who I am. This is why is this happening to me? I feel so bad. I'm hurt. They're grieving. They're going through like depression. You know what I mean? So many people going through depression. That's another thing you don't even realize. And I really had to bring someone back. I mean, to one point that even after they got out the chair, we calling them, and I'm calling with somebody else on the phone too. You know what I mean? But yeah, depression's real. People are dealing with some real life stuff in this world today. They're dealing with some real life stuff, and I'm here to tell you, hold on, man, hold on. Let me tell you something. Sometimes during the darkest hour, it's right before that break of day. I'm telling you. So, sometimes we got to be squeezed. Sometimes we got to be broken down. Sometimes things have to be broken down just so they could be built up the right way.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
powerful, man. As you was talking, I was just thinking about, people, because it do get difficult,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that because
Yes.
like normally we see people be like, "What up? How you doing?" Right?
Yeah.
When people ask how you doing, and then somebody dump on us, they be like, "Nah, I ain't doing so great." Are you
Yes.
ready? Are you ready for that conversation? So sometimes we gotta be careful when we say how you doing. If I ask
Yeah.
somebody how you doing, I know if they take it there, I'm gonna have to just how you did. I'm gonna have to be willing to talk to them if
Well, this is
necessary.
Hey, well, just imagine you being a barber for 30 years and a lot of people coming there. You got to take so much being a barber. You're hearing everyone's problems. Everybody got a problem. Everybody got a story. I learned every walks of life. It built my character, you know what I mean, to learn and to understand empathy and to really kind of put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand that, you know, life is happening. Life be life. And like they say, you know, life be life in the people. And, you know, you never know what someone is going through. Depression, again, is real. You know what I mean? People out here, I mean, look, we live in the richest country, and you ask me, you tell me how this makes sense. We live in one of the richest countries in the world. I think we all can agree with that, right? But over 70% of the people in the country are living check to check. How that makes sense?
Mm.
70% of the people are living check by check. You know, they're going to work every day. You know what I mean? We're paying our taxes and all that. Even with taxes, 20, 30, 40%. Did you know that even doing that, that means you're only working 6 months for free? Did you know that? People don't know that. You're
Mm.
working 6 months out of the year for free. Do the math. Taxes, 20%, 30% of your money. How that makes sense? You know what I mean? You're working free for at least 3 to 6 months easily. You know, but I mean, this is what we live at in America, and people are struggling. We were just crying over eggs not too long ago. You know what I mean? People worrying about eggs. Like, man, dang, eggs is hot. You know, we should be able to afford stuff like that, but in the richest country. But the powers that be and the people that's being greedy and stuff like that, it's just the way this world is going, it's not really cool. You know what I mean? For that. It's just not. People should not have to struggle. You can struggle if you want to struggle. That's up to you. But over here in America, now you're not struggling here. You know what I mean? And I've seen struggle in other countries too. Don't get me wrong; it's not as bad as them. But the way things are, I can see why people was getting in my chair depressed and going through some struggles. They got real shit going on. You know.
Okay. So you spoke about the businesses. You
Yes.
spoke about the book. You spoke about the play, the stage play.
Yes.
You talk about going not only going back to Africa, right?
Yes. Yes.
But starting an organization in Africa.
Yes.
Much respect to all that. All that
Thank
is
you.
good. I
Love it.
want you to tell us about your company because we always talk about giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Let us know what your company did as far as giving back to the community that
Cool.
you grew up in.
Let me say this, man. I've done a lot of great things in my life, and as we talk, I probably ain't enough time to tell you a lot of things. Needless to say, a lot of stuff that I've done. But one of the things I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest things that I've done in my company, which is construction. Again, a guy from barber chair to construction, got commercial. Well, in the Riverside projects, they got funds to develop the project. You know, what I mean, not to develop, to tear down the projects and put affordable housing. I'm talking about really nice housing, townhouses. You know what I mean? So knocking down all the project buildings, renovate and developing a whole new neighborhood. Well, I got a call to be a part of that, you know, and my company is called Trust. And the reason why I call it Trust because Black folks get a lot of bad rap when it comes down to construction companies and developing. You know, that's why you guys seeing us being flaggers and all that. You're not really owning the company, and then people saying that we might not have this, we don't do this, or you know, as far as integrity, whatever it is, we was just getting a bad name, bad rap, and I wanted to fix that. So my company's called Trust Renovations, meaning that you can trust us. Every time we call, you call us, hey, trust. Trust. I want you to hear that because I want you to know that's one thing that you can do with my company is trust. Well, someone called Trust and say, hey, I know you're from Riverside and I know you got a construction company. And I'm probably 2 years into my construction company. And there's like, we're building up the new projects, but it's not going to be projects. It's going to be townhouses. We're going to tear that down. I said, we're at over Riverside where you're from. We'd like to be a part of that. One of the coolest things in my life is being able to go back to my projects and helping out with the new houses. And we done doors, we done trimming, we did all the paint, we did a lot of things over there, and they actually invited us over to be a part of that, which I'm just so honored that, you know, growing up in Riverside, building these new houses across the street from the project where I lived at. And I'm talking about, Mark, I'm literally looking at my old house in the projects while building up the new houses on the other side. One of the coolest things I've ever done. And I've done a lot of great things, but going back to my projects and to my hood and fixing it up and helping fixing it up with the We Work program. Shout out to Logan Herring, who's my guy, and the other people that's involved in this project that made it happen.
Man, you deserve claps.
Thank you, bro.
You deserve claps for that, man.
Thank you,
That's
bro.
good
Thank you,
looking
man.
out.
Yes,
That's
thank you,
actually
bro.
giving back. Um,
Unreal. That was unreal. Yes.
okay. Are you currently mentoring any younger or even older people? Are you
Yes. Yeah, I got a couple people that I'm so proud of that I mentor on business, and some of us we try to meet at least once a month. those type of things. We try to meet. And then some people that, just by a phone call. I'm trying to, you've done so much, and I'm trying to figure out what's next. And I'm trying not to be too selfish, but I am trying to be selfish a little bit because I do want to fit myself into enjoying my life and doing what Derek wants to do, what Top Shelf wants to do, But at the same time, though, people need me, and legacy wise, I feel that leaving here, this earth, I should have done some things that's going to carry on for people, not just my family, but other young people that's coming up to teach them. So I'm thinking about maybe even doing a mentor program or something where I'm traveling and speaking like we're doing here, telling the story and speaking everywhere and telling people how they can make it,
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Listen,
So
what I would like to do now, Derek, anybody on the live right now, if you have a question, now's the time to go ahead. If you got a question for Top Shelf, if you got a question for his childhood person, which is Derek, just simple Derek. If you got a question for Top Shelf D Reed, now's
yeah,
the time to go ahead and ask it. First of all, I want to thank y'all, those who were in and out
absolutely.
supporting this live. We really appreciate that. Once we complete the live, it will be available for replay. So those who missed it, tell your peoples, man, it would be available for replay. But if you got a question, man, now's the time. Go ask a
Oh,
question, man. Anybody.
oh, oh, wow, that's good stuff. And I can see the questions too. Oh, good stuff.
Oh, you can? Yeah.
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 Well, I get that's what's up. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for even coming out and being on here and listening to the story, man. I enjoy telling the story, Mark. I'm gonna be honest, and enjoying trying to tell somebody that you can make it too. You just can't fall into what everybody been taught you, or just believe everything. You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen for yourself. You have to, by any means necessary.
This just came to my mind. People talk about remorse, success remorse, or just having remorse. Did you ever get caught up with feeling remorse being from the notorious Riverside housing projects, you being so successful, and some of the people not being as successful, some of them went through some hard times? How did you deal with that? Because I know you probably faced that on a number of occasions. Talk about that for me.
I do. I do. I don't know if it's just a remorse. I think with me, I consider myself, or I heard the category of overachiever sometimes, you know what I mean? And I think people get a bad rap from being an overachiever. No, go ahead and be an overachiever. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? I'm a motivated person and I like success, whether it's you're doing it or me doing it or whoever. I just love success. You know what I mean? I love the people that just keep on winning. You know what I mean? And then some people are kicking against that. They don't like that. They get jealous and that's where they hate coming and all that stuff. So I don't feel remorseful for me being successful because I know where I came from. So they don't know where I came from. They don't know that I was sharing the same bed with my brother up to 13, 14, because my mom would rent the other bed out. They don't know that I
Right.
had 12 people in my house and I had one bedroom. They don't know that we had a jug of water down the bottom and some beer in the refrigerator. They didn't know that I was eating breakfast food for dinner because we didn't have dinner food. They didn't know that. They didn't know that we had to borrow people's clothes and those type of things, in the school. They didn't know we had to share each other's clothes. They didn't know I had to wear them jeans the next day and the next day with a different shirt. They didn't know that to come downstairs and then they had nothing under the tree of a Christmas. Like a lot of people grow up with these luxuries. I didn't have that. We used to steal toys and wrap them up ourselves and put them under the tree just so we can come downstairs to unwrap stuff. If that ain't broke, I don't know what the hell is broke. You understand what I'm saying? Like we had
Yes.
it bad. You know what I mean? We had something called a party house where all the people come over the house and party and drink and stuff in the middle of the night, all night. And we got school tomorrow. And we couldn't say nothing. We 8, 9 years old. Take your ass back upstairs and get that big. You got school tomorrow. I watched my stepfather get stabbed in front of me. This is
Mm.
going on in the projects. So
Yeah.
when people see me going so hard and they see me just trying to keep winning, open up this business and doing this, that's why.
That's what's up.
That's why.
I got a viewer that asked a question. His name is EC. He go by EC.
Yes,
It
sir.
says, I'm looking at a foreclosure duplex. What are the steps to purchase with my LLC, or should I put under my own name?
Let me say this. I would say honestly, it's okay. It depends on if you're going to live in it, what you're going to do with it. Number one, are you going to live in it? Go ahead, put it under your name. You know what I mean? If you're going to um rent it out and do it as a company business, go ahead and do it under that name. But what I would do, I would call me a good accountant. That's number one. Get you a good accountant. Say, hey, I need a good accountant. Whether they have some type of a payment you got to pay per monthly to have them as accountant, call them and say, hey, I want to set up an LLC. and this is what I want to use it for. So because it sounds like this is new to you or something that you're trying to get into, and if it's something, and it's not just this, anything that you're trying to get into that you really don't know about, you need to call someone that knows about it. So my advice to you: go through the online, find you a good accountant that's locally, and say, hey, I want to start an LLC, and this is what I want to use it for, and start there. They'll set up the LLC. They'll get you a declaration page. Then you can start your bank account. You take that declaration page to the bank and all that stuff, set up your LLC bank account, and you go from there.
EC, did it answer your question? Anybody else has any questions for Top
Yeah.
Shelf D Reed? He giving out free game, free
Free
information.
game.
So if you got a question for him, my
Yeah.
question to you,
Sure.
were you going to say something?
No, you good. You good, bro.
Top Shelf, my
Yes.
question to you, and this doesn't mean it's going to be the last question, but my question to you is, after all this accomplishments that you have done, what's next for Top Shelf?
You'd be surprised. Let me say this. So one of my companies is actually a transportation company. And what we do is we service schools for I want to say kids that get in trouble pretty much. You know what I mean? I don't mean like saying bad kids, but kids that's always getting in trouble. Alternative kids. So alternative kids. And we serve probably about 60, 70 kids a year. About 60, 70 kids that we transport. So that company got so big where I got a management company that handles that company. You know what I mean? Because I just couldn't do it. It's too much. You know what I mean? But I still own the company and they manage it. So I got that taken care of. Trust is my other company, my construction. I'm trying to do the same thing with that, but I'm more hands-on. I had a project manager that kind of went left a little bit, but now I got to run that company more so. More hands-on, which is fine because I like it. But what's next for me is to get these companies all under a management company where I don't have to be so hands-on. Then I can live my life. And my life consists of writing plays, writing screenplays, and honestly, even doing some stand-up. I like being funny. I like talking stuff. And that's how I want to walk out into the sunset. You know what I mean? Or even doing this mentor stuff and traveling the world, teaching young people to be successful and to not wait for things to get right to make a move.
Very good.
Yeah.
Like during this live, people be in and out. I want you to go back and kind of repeat. What did you call it? From humble? What was the word that you used when you said from
the projects to progress?
From the projects to progress, and explain that a little bit for the people that's in and out, that's getting here late.
Well, I think going up in the projects, and people already know, the project living, project life, everybody stay up all night. You know what I mean? Education is not really big. Poverty is stricken. Drugs on the corner, the green box you're sitting on. We talking about going to the government cheese and the powdered eggs. I don't even know about powder, but this is the life I live, that I went through to get to the progress that I'm doing now. You know what I mean? I went from the projects to progress. When I walk through my hood right now, people still gonna respect us. We both like that, Mark. You go through the hood, people gonna respect us because they know what we've been through. People see me now that you're gonna have your haters. I don't care nothing about that, to a certain extent. Let me say that. You got your haters. But then you got the people that know you, that really know you. Like, no, he's a real one. No, he went through it. I know. My mom knows him. Oh, she know. And they don't have no problem saying, oh yeah, I remember they struggled too. So me and my brother actually got up out the muck and we went from the projects to progress. For those that just came online, yes, we went from projects to progress, meaning that you can go from that poverty state or that state where you feel like I'm on a lower vibration, not getting the money I want, not spending the time I need to spend with my family, not doing the things that I really truly love. You can do it. And the only person that can stop is you. Never think it's anybody else. Never think your future is in someone else's hand. It's in your hand and it starts in your mind. So you got to say mindset, go. And once your mind is ready, it's time to go.
Very good. My man EC, he said thanks for the information. But I want you to talk to my brother, and it's a whole bunch of these brothers like this. But talk to my brother, and I'm gonna call his name. Can't Get Right. Somebody who's been through it all. They done did it all. Now it's so crazy. They 40, 50, and some of them may be even older. Say something to Can't Get Right for me. If you got some words for Can't Get Right.
I know a couple of people that I can actually probably carry that same name, Can't Get Right, and they feel like you can't get right, or they just can't get together or stuff like that. And I get that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think you can be, I ain't gonna say too far gone, but you're so far gone to just make it more harder to get back or get back on track. Now, there's hope for everyone. You know what I mean? There's always hope. There's always hope to get back on track, no matter how old you are. But it's a difficult level of you're doing that if you're taking too long. You know what I mean? So I understand that. So my thing is this: don't be selfish. If you know there's something to do right, or something to do right, or something that you know that's right, or whatever, teach somebody else. If you can't get right, help someone else before they get too far going. You know what I mean? Use what you know, because now, even though you can't get right, you know, and you learned a lot on what you should have did. You know what you could have did. You know what you would have did if you didn't do X, Y, and Z to get you where you at now. But what I'm saying, with that knowledge, that information, that wisdom that comes with age, teach somebody else. Help someone else to not be where you at. And that's how you redeem yourself. You know what I mean? You start pouring out to someone else and say, hey, let me help you. And some people may say, well, how you know? Because I made the mistakes, because I've done that. Or I sat back and got lazy, or I sat back and got lackadaisy. All that, you know? So you want to make sure that you can tell somebody and spread that on.
Man, very good.
Yeah,
Very
don't be
good,
selfish.
man.
Don't be selfish. On top of you can't get right. Don't be selfish. Let's help someone. You know what I mean?
Now I would like for you, man, to talk about family, because you're a family man. What does it
Yeah.
mean to you? And even through, as you was talking about how it's important to spend time with your family. But just tell us about family, your family specifically, what they mean to you, and just go ahead, speak freely about that.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning of real quick of that, where even the starting family is finding the right person, finding the right spouse, finding the right partner is one of the most important things, one of the most important decisions that you could ever make in your life. Some has found out later the wrong way. Some have found out like, wow, they actually did help me. So my thing is just finding the right partner, and not just the partner themselves, but check out their family structure and how they grew up. You know what I mean? Do they got daddy issues? Do they got mommy issues? And that goes on both sides, male or female. You want to find out about that family, because you're getting involved with a partnership in a marriage or something, maybe with someone. You want to know about their everything. You know what I mean? How's your family? How's your brothers and sisters? Anybody crazy? Anybody, anything? You know what I mean? Because you're planning on starting a family. Let's keep it 100. You know what I mean? How's your dad? Was your dad in your life? All that stuff. And that goes for women and men, because it affected them all of it in a different way, but kind of like the same. If you ain't got a father in your life, it's going to affect your man growing up. If you got a father, it's going to affect the woman. You know what I mean? Some type of way. So let's just start there. Then you find your spouse. Family over everything, man. It's about building a unit. It's about being a unit with a head and a partner, or the two partners together. You know what I mean? Male and female. Hopefully, I'm sorry. I'm saying. Mommy and daddy. That's what I really want to say. Not to defend nobody, I just know the world has changed. But the thing is that you're raising your kids to be productive. I think I raised my kids to be like arrows. I want to be able to shoot them out, and I want them to hit the target. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. And family is everything. And I think that you build a big enough family, or a good family structure, you don't really need a lot of outside people. One thing about us is like we don't take advantage of the family structure because it's not really prevalent. Mark, we grew up with just our moms, or what I mean, dad went around and that type of stuff, and a lot of other cultures, they stick together as family. They know the power of family. That's why you say they call it the what's the name brothers, or that's the what's the name family, and whatever, whether it's Jewish, Italian, whatever. But us, we don't stick together to have that unit. Say, hey, we don't need nobody on the outside. We got everybody here. You know what I mean? And you build your family based on that. But family is the most important thing to me, and building and spending time with them. The concept of us working Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, it just baffles me. Like it just baffles me, man. And because even with me, I have my own business, I still put them hours in, but I cut them back. I was only working Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You know what I mean? And I get off when I want. But I
Hmm.
watch people work these jobs and get ready on a Sunday night to go to work on a Monday all day, Tuesday and Friday, and then you squeeze your family in on Friday night, and the traffic's crazy because everybody's doing the same thing, trying to go to the beach because everybody's let off this plantation. This is sad. You know what I mean? Maybe one day they'll change that and do a 3-day work week. I don't know, but it's pulling us away from our family, and family is the most important thing. And I don't like anything that pulls us away from one of the most important things in our life. Of course, it's family, your health, and all that stuff. And I just don't like that concept. It just bothered me. Reason why I got into entrepreneurship.
So with all that, do you see your fruits, the fruits of your labor being passed on to your kids? Do you see them taking
Absolutely.
advantage? Talk about that.
I got 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy. So right now, I think, I'll be lucky if I say all four of them did it. No, it's not going to happen like that. It's just
Yeah.
this is how life is. You're going to have contrast. You're going to have some type of people that want to go their own way. You know what I mean? I have my struggles. You know what I mean, with my own children. You know what I mean. However, I got some daughters that's right after me. Entrepreneur. Now, let me tell you something. One thing about being a good dad and being there, it's still a catch-22 with that. Like, I'm a good family man. He's been with his family all the time, but it has some good and bad parts, and I'll probably explain that on another show. But for the most part, my daughters picked it up and got the entrepreneur spirit, and they wanted to start their own companies, and that's what they're doing in other states. So yeah, and we're all close.
Wow,
All
that's
my
what's
kids are
up,
close.
man.
I'm close to all my kids.
Family is important. I
Yes.
totally agree with that. But I see a comment from EC once again.
Uh-huh.
He was responding to something you said. He said, crazy and daddy issues are the worst. The best thing is an honest woman that you can be honest with so you can do what you need to do together. So that
I
was
think
his
so.
response. Yeah.
Men need that. Men need that. And I mean, women need that too, but men really need someone that they can be honest with and
Yeah.
from the gate. And you know what? Back in the day, I think men was more private, but now it's society have changed where you can be more open. You can be more honest with a woman when you first meet and say, this is what I am, and they're not saying they're cool with it, but you can be honest, a little bit more honest. So I think that's very important. You see, to even say that yes, you want to find someone that you can be honest with and you can look and say, hey, this is who I am and this is who you are. And either we're gonna be cohesive together or let's stop playing,
Very
So
good.
yeah.
I just want to add with that, top shelf,
Yes, sir.
like, like with the honest and all that on both sides, we got to understand that they're not perfect and we're not perfect. I remember when I was a teenager, I wanted them to be perfect, even though I was far from perfect. But for
Yeah,
some reason, I wanted them to be perfect. you
nobody's
know,
perfect.
right?
Yeah, and you have to
Right.
look at that. You have people. You always have to give room for a couple things in life. And number one, to realize that no one's perfect, and we get that, right? But for the people you want to have a reset button. And I don't know who this is for, but let me tell you something. Sometimes people can hurt you. You know what I mean? Rather in religious sectors or family. Those are one of the closest things to us is church people or family. You know what I mean? But sometimes, let me say a lot of times, you got to have a reset button in your back pocket for the people you love and people love you. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say something else too before we go, far as people that got your back and all that, because another thing that we've been taught wrong, and I'm gonna share this on your show. But yeah, we want to have a reset button for the people you love. Every now and then, just push the reset button. We got to start over. Sometimes stuff can get too far gone. Let's just start all over. Let's throw everything out. You know what I mean? And hopefully forgiveness come in, and you can get things done that way. Number two, people on the internet say, "Hey, celebrate with the people that celebrate you." You ever heard that, Mark?
Yeah.
Celebrate with the people that and all that stuff. Let me tell y'all something. That's the people that you got to watch. But this is what you've been taught. Celebrate with the people that celebrate you. Those are people you got to watch. You know the people that got your back, the people that hurt when you hurt. That's who has your back. Not the people that celebrate when you celebrate. That's the easy part. It's the people that hurt when you hurt. That's who got your back.
Very
Well,
good, man. Listen, man, ooh, you dropped some jewels. I want to give them an opportunity. If anybody here, if you got a question for Top Shelf, man, if you just coming in, you missed a powerful story. This man came from,
the
where you say,
project for the project to progress.
from the projects to progress. He gave a lot of inspirational information. This man that owned a barbershop, he went from that to owning multiple businesses, man. This
Yeah.
is a true success story. This ain't something I heard. This is something I know for a fact. He come from humble beginnings, but he did not make excuses. And he here today. If you had not got his book, man, Mindset Go is
Yeah.
available on Amazon. Go ahead and let us know where the book is available and give the full title. The full title.
Mindset Go. That's right. This book called Mindset Go. You're bigger than you know. Mindset Go. You're bigger than you know. It's on all platforms on Amazon. And what I mean, you can do it on Kindle if you got a computer. It's on audio if you want to listen to audio. And it's on paperback, as you can see. Boom, paperback. And if I see you want to send it to me, I'll sign it for you. But let me tell you, by all means, go get Mindset Go. Not only will it change your life, it's actually changed my life. Mark, this book changed my life. And if you see me gung ho and just going, Mindset go. This is why.
Mindset go.
This is
Listen,
why.
my man says something. Uh, it's M. Sherman. This is what he said. This is his viewpoint. He said, pretty honestly, crazy women are sometimes the best women. I don't know where he's coming from. Uh, I'm gonna put the disclaimer out there. I'm just reading it for him. But he said, pretty honestly, crazy women sometimes are the best women.
Wow.
Talk to this. Talk to this.
And I want to answer KS right there. You see that right there? The book is about this is the roadmap to finding you. Someone asked me what the book is about.
Yeah,
KS, this is the roadmap to finding you. I'm going to squeeze you to really get you to the point. What do you think? What do you believe? And what do you know? And understand that you are bigger than you know, but you don't know that until life starts squeezing you. Mindset go is like ready, set, go. Instead, everything starts with your mind. So that's the ready part. Mindset go, you're bigger than you know, but you have to be squeezed. So the things that can come out of you that are great, you capitalize on, and the stuff that come out of you that's not so great, you correct. Mindset go. Amazon, man.
there you have it, man. Listen, man, I want to thank y'all. I know Top Shelf's time is valuable. Thank you
Yeah,
for taking an hour out of your precious time to be with
absolutely.
us, man. And listen,
Absolutely.
this is just the beginning, man. This
Thank you,
is
bro.
just the beginning.
I can't
There's
wait
no
to come back
telling.
on.
Say that again.
I can't wait to come back on.
Oh yeah, most definite. We
Yes.
got somebody else said, Black Sisters Forever. Snow bunnies. What it say? I'm just reading. I put out the
Nobody's
disclaimer.
never.
So okay, that's his perspective, and we respect that. And it said
Yeah.
you have still not explained the book. KC said you still have not. He came in late. So explain again real quick. I know your time is valuable. Give him a
Yo,
synopsis.
let me tell you something. This is a book, it's a motivational book. This is not a self-help book. This is a self-know book to get to know yourself, to squeeze you into knowing who you really are and what do you believe and what do you know, to help you to be motivated and encouraged to know that you could do anything that you put your mind to. It's called Mindset Go. It's taking the mind in the place of the word of ready, set, go. It's Mindset Go. You're bigger than you know, but you got to know it. You got to know that you could do everything. You can know that you can do anything in your life if you put your mind to it. I'm telling you, you just have to knock down some of these barriers that you've been taught to believe. Most people say when things get right, I make a move. But the reality is things get right when you make a move. The boy, Top Shelf D read. Mindset go. KS, I hope you got it. If you don't, go to Amazon right now and get it on paperback. It's going to explain everything, and I guarantee you it was going to change your life.
He said, very true. As I said, Top Shelf time is very valuable. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. I want to thank all the viewers, everybody who's peeped in and stepped out. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. But this is just the beginning, man. I knew that y'all would get some value. I hope that y'all have gotten value because I
Yes.
believe that he brought nothing but value in this interview, man. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you, man. Top
Yes.
shelf. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your
Thank you.
family. Love you and appreciate you.
Love and
Thank you
appreciate
for
you, bro.
responding within 15 minutes. That was nothing but love.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you. We thank the
All right,
viewers,
bro.
man. But I'm gonna holler
Thank
at you
you.
in a minute. I'm gonna holler at you in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bro.
Hey, if y'all have not done it, man, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I make a video. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. Go and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, peace.